folks, this is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I am simulcasting once again on Rumble and YouTube, and I want to thank everybody who's joining me tonight on both platforms and everybody who watches the video after the live stream. So anyway, I got a little picture up there, occasional Cortex, and she's all upset about what's happening with these illegals. But anyway, we'll get back to that and a great many other things. I'll play some videos while we wait for people to get into the chats. And I hope you all are having a good day. And yeah, we'll get into it real quick.
Democrat open borders plan trench single-party rule explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world. Enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize citizens with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all. And rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded Lawfare campaign to no signature verification and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
Now, here's what galls me. I don't like these attacks on the Department of Justice, the FBI, the IRS, as if they are somehow anti-U.S. agencies. Those agencies keep this democracy in check. It keeps them afloat. They provide the checks and they provide the balances.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
And he's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it.
We will take care of it. And I will say that as far as what's happening, we're dealing with the most vicious and corrupt entities on the face of the earth. Isn't that what Mr. T said? The most vicious and corrupt entities? Actually, it's going pretty good. When you look at that, we're still putting along. Let me see who all's got in here tonight. Sherry's here, Sissy's here. Who's that at the top? Let me see. I can't make that name out. Angel, how you doing? Linda, William, Wayne. Wayne says, give me a thumbs up. So y'all better do that. It's always good to get thumbs up. Helps the video get around. I appreciate it. Even after the live stream. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Hi, Robin. Darla, nice to see you. Let me see. I've got a different setup. Things are a little higher than usual. And if I have a problem, if you hear some racket, I got to tell you that Sadie has captured a little, well, actually a big fat woodland creature, and it's in the house. And long story, but if you hear some crashing and rattling and banging, you'll know what's going on. But there's a truce, and I didn't have time to put an end to the situation plus go live. So anyway, here we are. Let's see. Oh my, where did I leave off? Jess and Bean, how you doing? Darla's here. Wanda, Ronald, Angela, Flannel Cheese, Rebecca, Marie, Pappy Two Bears, Yvonne, nice to see you. Todd, nice to see you. Cricket, haha, nice to see you. Lone Wolf, and a Google account. So anyway, I got a picture up there of occasional Cortex up to her usual nonsense. And I was playing around before I went live. Not that I got a lot of time to play around usually, but I did anyway. And who is that you're crying over? What's her face? Turn your head there. You in the front. Turn your head. Who are you? Oh my gosh! It's Bozo Bozeman. Bozo Bozeman. What are you doing there? Who's that behind you? Turn your head. Let me see who you are. Turn your head. Up on Tim. Oh, they got put on a flight. Wouldn't that be something? So anyway, I took a screenshot of that earlier. I think I'll put it on my True Social page. We got these, what are they called? Predatory insurgents. Predatory insurgency. So I got something on my screen. I don't even know what it is. Let me see. It's some kind of, I'm not even sure what that is. In the background. Huh. That's bizarre. Whoa. Oh, that's a freeze frame of Mr. T. All right. So anyway, I got a notification just before I went live. the mainstream media, that's part of their bastion, along with the Democrat Party's getting weak. They're breaking apart, getting weak. But the media is still going full steam. And they put a notification up insinuating that the Trump administration is being hostile. Let me see where it is. Here it is. I'll add that and put it in and put it on the board. Let's see. This is what I get, the kind of junk I get from your notifications. NBC News, judge rips DOJ's woefully insufficient response to questions on Alien Enemies Act case. The government's response to the U.S. District Judge James Bozoberg was filed under seal after days of heated back and forth. Trump was, it was not heated. But they want to portray it that way. Hi, Candace Cleanup, how you doing? They want to portray it that way and try to get public opinion going for a possible impeachment, which will fall through, but it's still highly annoying. And I don't know how we're gonna straighten that part out. I'm going to have this picture here of Tampon Tim. I'm going to leave him over in the corner or put him there every now and then, just so you remember what we almost ended up with in the White House. Right there, Tampon Tim. Let me get to where you can see his, you can see his shoes. There you go. Ha ha ha. Let's see, I don't like the way this thing is set up. My new setup, it's kind of hard to be able to move things around on the camera, but I'll have to do away with that and take direct control. So anyway, that's why I'm not going too fluid tonight. I've got a little different setup. But anyway, I got a bunch of videos that some of you may have seen, some of you may have not have seen. But what we're up against is something that's been going on. We've seen it for especially heavy for the last 20 years. I remember my dad used to look at me and say, yesterday you were a baby. Yesterday, it only seems like yesterday. And that's why things look so perverse to us, is because we have fresh memories when this country didn't deal with this kind of dysphoria and insanity, but we're dealing with it now. And people that didn't live, weren't raised the way we were raised, they know something's wrong, but they don't understand just how bad it is. Wouldn't you agree? Here's an example of the guy that's running for mayor in New York. This is what he's talking about is straight up communism. Straight up communism. I'll go ahead and play it, and you see if you concur with my thoughts on what he wants to do for grocery prices in New York. And who is this character? People say, "Oh, well, don't pick on immigrants." And no, I'm not picking on immigrants. But because, as I always say, my mother was an immigrant. My father's great-great-great-grandfather was an immigrant. They have to assimilate. They have to understand what our laws are and what the American spirit is. And you tell me if you get that out of this guy. So let me cut my mic off and let him play.
Grocery prices are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zahran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets for prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you.
You heard what he said. He's going to take the profits from corporate grocery stores, confiscate, okay? But I don't know what he worded. You don't have anything to reinvest in you unless you take it from somebody. And then he's going to do these commie grocery stores in New York. So, with New York, we got increased vandalism with Teslas. I'm going to use the term third world crap right here. I don't care what anybody says. We don't need this third world crap in our country. And no, I'm not picking on anybody that's an immigrant, but I'm going to ask, what does this person do to sustain themselves? What is this person doing to integrate into the American system? Why are they here? Like Yoda said to Luke Skywalker, why are you here? How much money do you think this person is costing us? And here's what they think of us. Let me cut my mic off and play this.
I want to get her on video.
Shut the fuck up! Bro, she's walking away.
On the boats and on the planes, they're coming to America. Yeah, they're coming to America, all right. And we've got to do something. We can't just stop at what with these Tren de Aragua. We got to keep moving until we get as many as we can out of here that are raising hell in our streets and disturbing our peace and our quiet enjoyment and our productivity and our police resources, welfare checks and everything else. It's time to tell it like it is when it comes to that kind of stuff. Indiana brought 45,000 people. You mean India? Or yeah, he was wearing a lot of jewelry, wasn't he, Angel? His fancy rings and everything. And so if you got a grocery store in New York, you got to worry about this commie, whatever he is, whatever country he's from, taking your stuff. So, a sensitive subject I think will be broached after the midterm elections is going to be these individuals who have been made naturalized citizens who are actively undermining our Constitution. I'm positive. Well, I'll just say this way. My recollection, okay, I'll put it that way. My recollection of the rules, you can be stripped of your naturalized. You came from another country and you're stirring up trouble and you keep stirring up trouble, you can go right back to your country. Being granted citizenship is not ironclad. Depends on your behavior, your actions. Let me see. I've got to get this thing off the screen, whatever it is. I've got something up there. Here we go. I'll get this down. There we go. Let me see. Hi, Bush. Oh, yeah. Indiana brought in 45. Who can you vote out over that? That's what you need to find out. We need to start getting organized and get people like this the heck out of here. Here, I'll make it a little more lighthearted. Here, I got a little video. Somebody who's trying to be lighthearted with these liberals that are losing their minds all the time. And let me see. Where is it? There.
I think it's crazy that we have anger management, but we don't have stupidity management. I can't be mad, but you get to be dumb. That's very unfair. Especially because 99% of the time that I get mad is because somebody's doing something stupid. So and finger wagging the moment I say something about it. We need change in 2025. Either stop being stupid or deal with the consequences.
How about that? Is that a little bit better? Is that a little bit better? How about stupidities? Hi, Tennessee. How you doing? How was the sound on that video? Were y'all able to hear it? I'm playing around with my mic and trying to see what the best way, and I'll use little videos like that to experiment. Can you all tell me what I'm looking at here? I guess they are getting a divorce. I don't know. This is supposed to be some kind of new look.
All seasons, but the summers are hot and swampy. So it's good to be in LA, and it's good to be with you.
Hot and swampy. Anyway. I got all these clips. I'm gonna just play them. Yeah, here's this is a good one. I think you all enjoy this one.
I mean, is it okay for an American company to just be hated, for people to want it to not do well?
I think go back to point one. When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to
actually.
talk about it in any other context. And all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras. You're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on terrorism, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in hell in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in, shooting a car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go
What about the broader
to
question
jail.
about the protest factor? I mean, you heard
What
Tim Walz.
protest?
Yeah. So, yeah, I see what you're saying, Melinda. You got these people that are living in another world thinking things were fine, and Trump is the one causing trouble. And, you know, it's really aggravating. But the thing is that it's the way they've been raised, the way they've been taught. And, you know, it's hard. Like that video I played with the fleas. Remember the fleas in a jar? I'll play that some future broadcast. And, yeah, Trump's not causing problems. We've got this country's just barely making it, printing money. Like Elon Musk said he found a number of illicit, what he called money machines that with no authorization, no accountability, just creates money. So anyway, New York, New York. Let's see. This Tesla crap. Is this one from New York? Yeah. This guy right here. No, this is Canada, Toronto, right? Man keyed a Tesla and then unlocked his apartment, revealing his address. Those Teslas got cameras all over him. Here he is doing some little, I didn't get the video, but he's walking like a little swish sissy boy, going by, keying that Tesla. And then he goes right up and opens his apartment door, and the cameras are still on him. Real brain surgeons. I'll play these reports of how many of them got caught. 3 of them, I think, got caught and are looking at up to 20 years. Here's the first one I got. Let me see. Yeah, Tesla attacks lead to 3 arrested with the DOJ.
Breaking news that we are following for you this hour, and this has to do with these Tesla attacks that we have been seeing in recent weeks. We now are learning that Attorney General Pam Bondi has announced charges against 3 people in domestic terrorism attacks on Teslas. 3 people accused of destroying Tesla cars and charging stations are now facing up to 20 years. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced just moments ago. She said in a statement as well, the days of committing crimes without consequence have ended. Let this be a warning. If you join this wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, the Department of Justice will put you behind bars. And we've been seeing videos like this for the last couple of weeks. This video coming out of Las Vegas earlier this week as well. The defendants are accused of using high-powered weapons and explosives to destroy property from the Elon Musk-owned car company. One allegedly carried a suppressed AR-15 rifle while lobbying 8 Molotov cocktails at an Oregon Tesla dealership, while another is accused of trying to light Tesla cars on fire with these same explosives in Colorado. And again, this is just some of the aftermath of some other video from Las Vegas as well, showing explosions that were happening earlier in the week here. And you could see those cars that were caught up in the flames. We've also been seeing on social media where there is reports of Tesla cars being keyed and videos of that being put out as well. But again, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, putting this out there against 3 people caught up in these domestic terrorism charges on these latest Tesla attacks. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that for you here.
Did you hear that? What he was talking about? Different states, but the same type of explosives. So they're looking at interstate terrorism, and they found a nexus. And are we going to find a nexus with a lot of these other people that, not dealing with Tesla cars, but promoting a insurgency, infiltration, okay? Like I was saying the other night, grand juries are supposed to be secret. They're not supposed to be talked about. The only reason we heard so much about stuff going on with Trump and his allies about grand juries is because of illegal leaks. And what did John Durham, when he was doing his indictments, there were no leaks. And as far as I know, Durham is still active. We've got Huber is active. We've got Horowitz is active. Pam Bondi is active. Kash Patel is active. Any of them could call a grand jury. And if they did it properly, we wouldn't even know about it. Here's the next report I got concerning this coordinated disruption of our civil society
domestic terrorism. It's disgusting. And the thing that's really horrifying is how many leaders on the left are celebrating it instead of condemning it.
So the FBI investigating attacks on at least 7 Tesla facilities in the past month. And it's not just dealerships. The people who own the cars are also being threatened. The DOJ is calling the vandals domestic terrorists. And some breaking news that we have for you right now. Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing severe charges against these arsonists. Alicia Acuna has the latest. Hi.
Hi, Taylor. Yes, and we do have a little bit more detailed information from this release from the DOJ and Attorney General Pam Bondi. You know, one of these defendants is out of Oregon, and he was found, according to the DOJ, with an AR-15 rifle. He was arrested after throwing approximately 8 Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership. You also have someone who was arrested here in Colorado for arson and also graffiti at a Tesla dealership. That's about an hour north of where I'm sitting. And then again, in South Carolina, another defendant, he wrote profane messages, according to the DOJ again, against President Trump and Tesla, and also attempted to light a charging station on fire with Molotov cocktails. So we will continue to bring you more developments on that and what the DOJ is doing. But also, we want to tell you about a website the DOJ is looking into that is reportedly posting personal information about Tesla vehicle owners, including their addresses and phone numbers. And we're not going to show you that site because it is also encouraging people to vandalize and protest. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had this to say earlier today on Fox.
He will ensure that the harshest penalties are pursued for those who are engaging in this vicious violence that we have seen targeted at this American company, Tesla dealerships, Tesla employees, and also innocent Americans who have chosen to drive these vehicles.
So for the last 2 months, and ever since Tesla CEO Elon Musk began working with Doge, law enforcement has been responding to scenes similar to this attack at a Las Vegas Tesla dealership and service center. The FBI is investigating as incidents have spread to multiple Tesla storefronts and charging stations in at least 11 states. Police in nearby Lakewood, Colorado, are looking for the person who cut all the cords at a Tesla charging station. As I mentioned, a handful of arrests have been made around the country, but so far the FBI has not said if they are connected. And look at this. This man has been arrested for keying a woman's Tesla in a San Jose parking lot while she was on social media. And in case anyone is wondering, the Tesla vehicles record their surroundings for their owners if they are put into Sentry mode. So if someone out there vandalizes a Tesla, the car itself could likely be gathering information to be used against that person.
Good. Get them. Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah.
Well, we saw that guy that got arrested for keying the vehicles. And look at this. Here we go with New York again. Seen in Brooklyn. Stickers they're putting up all over the place. And then you had people like Jimmy Kimmel and Tim Walz and others making light of this kind of business. Where's that? I got a video of Tim Walz. Where is it? Where he's they had mentioned the stock, and he was making fun of the stock dropping. And then people brought up, hey, you dope. Minnesota's retirement fund has got a bunch of Tesla. You're hurting your own people, you idiot. I might not have that in there, but I got other clips. Who's this guy? Talk about building a case. This guy, Rick Wilson, Intrepid Media, somebody put this post of his on X side by side with a video he did, I think, last year, a comment he made.
And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And that's
Is that a fact? Is that a fact? So I don't know. Like I said, we could be sitting here and there would be grand juries. There may be grand juries going on right now. Some of the people we think are getting away with red rum or however you want to word it, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Like Trump said when he first came into office, he said, wait for the corruption and the corruption will come. Here's I don't know what that is, but that's what he wrote on a Tesla. This is again, New York. Some moron that just feels justified. And again, it's from people like Tim Walsh and whatever that so-called comedians. Did I finish playing that? I don't know. Whatever that so-called comedian's name is. Let me see if I got him in here. They've got to hold these, some of these so-called news stations accountable. And some of these streaming platforms that allow people to put up stuff that encourages us. Here he is again. What's his name? They call him the Brain or something like that. Watch how she wants to talk over top of him. She can just barely help herself, but somebody is talking in the earpiece, probably making her be quiet. I think they have to be.
Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state. I mean, that's their investment fund. Point, what a bozo.
The Minnesota Tesla State Board of Investment, they have 1.6 million shares in Tesla in their retirement fund, 211,000 shares in a non-retirement fund. It's a relatively small amount, but that's one company, one single stock, and that's because Tesla is a huge part of the tech growth. But this is not the first time that companies have been in the crosshairs of protests. I mean, Republicans have protested companies all the time.
She calls it a protest. Republicans protest companies all the time. Oh, really? Any company. It's being fomented by the media. Yeah, Mr. T with the children. Yeah, I saw that too. I had this meme right here I should have put up the other night. It said, for the first time in years, President Trump is surrounded by... No, a president was surrounded by kids, and none were sniffed. Ha, ha, ha. So, yeah, and then you juxtapose that against what could have been right here with her and Tampon Tim. In an alternate universe, President Harris is signing an executive order banning women from women's sports. But I think I have a video of Trump signing the end of the Department of Education. And people are saying, oh, Congress has to do it and this kind of stuff. Well, he could leave it, but trim it back to next to nothing. Here he is. Here he is. The one, he put this on Truth Social.
Today we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. Should I do this?
Yeah, no auto pen, a wet signature, a real signature. Here I got a good one of Tom Homan. Tom Homan, he's sitting there like Winston Churchill in this big gold chair. And telling the facts.
In 4 weeks, we arrested more criminal aliens in the interior United States than Joe Biden did in a year, first of all. Second of all, the border numbers right now are down 96%. 96% decline in 6 weeks. We did in 6 weeks what Joe Biden refused to do in 4 years. And what we needed, as the president articulated during the speech, all we needed was a new president who took border security seriously, and that's what we have in President Trump. 96% decline on border crossing. But here's the most important part, what I think is the most important part, gotaways. Under Joe Biden, we got 2.2 million people cross the border, weren't apprehended, weren't fingerprinted, weren't vetted. 2.2 million people came into this country, and we got them on video, drone traffic, sensor traffic. They weren't apprehended because Border Patrol was too busy changing diapers, making baby formula, taking care of the humanitarian crisis of people coming across that border by the millions. 2.2 million people cross the border. We don't know who they are, where they came from, why they're here. Gotaways by average were 1,800 a day under Joe Biden. 1,800 people a day crossed this border and weren't apprehended because there was Border Patrol so overwhelmed. The gotaway number yesterday, 41. 41. 1,800 to 41. That means less people are entering this country than that we don't know who they are. When you have the border, and here's where I keep preaching, but the left keeps pushing back. When you have a 96% decline in illegal border crossing, when 96% less people are coming, how many women and children aren't being sexually assaulted by the cartels? How many children aren't dying crossing that border? How many pounds of fentanyl is not getting into this country to kill Americans? How many people on the terrorist watch list aren't escaping this country? How many billions of dollars are the cartels not making? A secure border saves lives, and that's what President Trump has done. We were saving lives by the thousands simply because we have a secure border. We got more to do. Look, we were arrested about 3 times more than Biden did in 1 month. I already talked about that. In 1 month, we compare his month to our month, we're arresting 3 times more than Joe Biden did. That's not enough. We need to do 10 times more because he wasn't doing squat. So the media's been all over me, well, are you happy with the numbers? I'm happy. I'm not satisfied. We're not going to rest. I'm not going to sleep well at night until every public safety threat, illegal aliens eradicated from this country. That's when we'll relax, and that's when we'll take some action.
Yeah, that's what we need to hear more of. And like Melinda's friend, they think that the old way was normal. I mean, we're watching our country be destroyed. We're watching our way of life be disrupted. And, here's an interesting, this kind of plays into what I'm thinking about, networks, okay? A nexus. This isn't all by accident, okay? And we were told that we'd be watching a show. The story, I think, is being laid out for people like Melinda's friend who says, how come Trump's screwing everything up? Some of them just aren't paying attention. When Tom Homan's sitting there talking, and he's talking these outrageous numbers, they just don't, they're the internet generation, that TikTok generation, every 6 seconds, attention span. But we've got to keep pounding away to the people that do have an attention span. Here's a point to ponder about how our country is getting infiltrated. A system of infiltration. And when he talks about some of these characters that are coming in, going to these colleges, my brain goes back to Barack Hussein Obama, who, if you'll remember, had his political thesis and grades and essays under lock and key. Nobody could see him. That he had multiple social security numbers. That he was at college. They say Columbia. They say Harvard. Which one of them was he going to college as a foreign exchange student? That's a fact. Was he playing the system like Pocahontas pretending she was an Indian? Or is there something more nefarious going on? But everything I said is true. You can't get his records. You don't know who the hell paid for his college and how he presented himself while he was in college. But anyway, here's Megyn Kelly. They're asking about this guy that got into the country that's getting thrown out. That Mahmoud, what's his face? That some judge ordered him not to be thrown summarily out. That how'd he get his visa so quickly?
Green card so fast? I don't know how. Because let me tell you something. I've said this before. My nephew,
I think I know.
who's an American, he's the son of my sister. Like kids, like young teachers will do. And he did that for a couple of years, and he met a Korean woman and he fell in love with her and they got married and they had a baby who had dual citizenship with his son. But his wife, who's a lawyer and married to an American citizen, but not a U.S. citizen, and whose son is an American citizen, but she's not an American citizen. It's been taking her years just to get a green card, never mind American citizenship. And they have nothing like Mahmoud Khalil's very sketchy history, like working for UNRWA, which is an arm of Hamas. She's still having trouble getting the permanent work papers. So something is sketchy about that guy's case, Charlie.
I think we can conjecture why he got his green card so quickly. This is within the State Department that likely wanted this individual here. Again, we're just hypothesizing, but you're exactly right. I mean, you look at Riley Gaines' husband, who has been trying to get U.S. citizenship and his paperwork all figured out, and it's been a nightmare for quite a while. I mean, we can go through the list. We all have examples of friends and family of people that have tried this, people that are phenomenal and they marry American citizens and they follow the law and they're well educated and they're great patriots, and nope, you can't get them a green card or a temporary citizenship or citizenship, whatever status you want. You have to wonder, again, I think a proper investigation is warranted, and Marco Rubio can look at this. Was there a fast track? Was there an accelerated process that was put into place for Mahmoud Kamil because he was trained?
Was Judge Bozo's daughter involved? But here you get where Charlie Kirk is talking about how he was trained, basically as an operative, not as a student, a 30-year-old student.
As a professional agitator and organizer. Yeah. Now, when we look through the left-wing literature, if you look through the left-wing literature, there's documents such as Good Trouble and many of these organizations. They use a hub and spoke model where they believe that a singular agitator or organizer will be able to mobilize 500 to 1,000 people during a moment of mass protest against quote-unquote injustice. We see this in the actual Alinsky literature. This is in their training and their guidebooks. You have to wonder if Mahmoud Khalil was put into Columbia University for the stated purpose of being a professional agitator against the United States and against Israel, and was given a green acceleration by the Biden State Department. We don't know. It's worthy to look into, but it would not shock me or surprise me that anti-American forces did this on many college campuses, Megan. What if we were to find out that there were 20 identical type of Mahmoud Khalil, foreign-funded, foreign-trained people that were put on American college campuses, maybe at UCLA or some of these other massive encampments? I saw the UCLA one firsthand. Up all these well-meaning college kids that have been indoctrinated by their professors. It's worthy to look into, and it also begs a broader and deeper question. How often, if at all, is the American immigration system being used to aid our enemies to create sometimes very quiet or sometimes loud sleeper cells?
Well, who else was a community organizer, trained as a community organizer? Barack Hussein Obama, right? So let's see. Hi, Whiskey. How you doing? Nice to see you. Tracy, nice to see you. Dean's here. Nice to see you also. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. So yeah, well, you're welcome, Angela. Yeah, we try to keep if we get somebody that's not used to it and comes in a little strong, let me talk to them. Maybe we'll get somebody else to be in the chats and change their way of thinking. But for the most part, we got a lot of good people coming in, don't we? You know, there is a sheriff. Trump put out a statement. Let's see. Here he put this statement out. Fact sheet. Efficiency through state and local preparedness. And, you know, help me out in the chats about that one sheriff in Florida we all know. His name slips my mind right now. Grady Judd. Grady Judd. But we got another sheriff in Florida that is also picking up the pace. And he's part of the reason I put in there cyber hunt, going on a cyber hunt. And, you know, you get a lot of these people putting up videos that threaten people. And this Sheriff Chitwood out of Florida has been piercing the veil of internet anonymity and tracking people down. Here, he's gotten 6 of them so far. I got articles on 3 of them. Another suspect arrested in another 4chan DEATH threat against Sheriff Chitwood. You know, just what you'd figure you'd be looking at, a freak. And then this guy sitting in the back of a squad car. I was going to get a picture of that and say on my thumbnail, that's the way you do it. You shove them in the back of a squad car. 3rd 4chan user arrested following threat to unalive Sheriff Chitwood. And here's the first one he got. I think he got him last year. Man found at mother's house. I felt sorry for his poor mother. But he's just a big, greasy, hairy slob. Sits upstairs on his computer all day in his mother's house. This is Volusia County. So I was wondering, like Trump talking about local preparedness, using all these sheriffs to pretty much sharpen their pencils on cybercrime and connecting the dots. There is a video, let me see, of him arresting somebody who, here you go. You'll see Sheriff Chitwood. He makes it a, there goes that creature said he was after. Just, oh my gosh, if you hear some racket, you'll know what's going on. I explained at the beginning of the video. But anyway, here is, he meets them at the bottom of the escalator. When they go to other states to catch these criminals. And this is where this person scammed an 85-year-old woman.
Shania, I am Sheriff Chip, and I want to let you know that we protect our seniors in this community, okay? That's why you're here. And I hope and pray there's a special place in hell for you and Nielsen Brooks for what you did to an 85-year-old woman and stealing her life savings. And I hope you enjoy your stay here. Welcome to Florida. We are awaiting the arrival of a Shania Baptista. Her and her co-defendant swindled one of our residents out of over $35,000 in a fraud scheme. And now we're bringing her back here, where she's headed to the happiest place on earth, the Branch Jail. She won't be meeting Mickey, I can tell you that. Shania, I am Sheriff Chip, and I want to let you know that we protect our seniors in this community, okay? That's why you're here. And I hope and pray there's a special place in hell for you and Nielsen Brooks for what you did to an 85-year-old woman and stealing her life savings. And I hope you enjoy your stay here. Welcome to Florida.
Shania, do you have any regrets now that this is all happening?
Name and shame them. Name and shame them. That reminds me, I had another video. Here is, well, let me find it. There's a report about a minor. I think this is it right here. A minor who got his parents and his grandparents. They've got these kids go on these websites, and they're supposed to be playing video games, but they're really gambling. And I think they should make these companies, these websites, when stuff like this happens, when a minor gets into their system and does this. Let me play it for you.
How old is your youngest client?
The youngest gambling client we had was 15.
15. And are you able to share any others?
He was a great kid, great family support system. Mom called because he had been gambling. They thought that there was some shady stuff going on. So when I first started meeting with him, he was very secretive, didn't want to share anything, then started to share that he had stolen his parents' and his grandparents' social security numbers. He had 4 FanDuel accounts. 3 he got locked out of. When we got into the 4th account, which was under his grandmother's social security number, he had placed $887,000 in bets. And it was over a 12-month period. And when his mom and I went through that and we were looking, he was betting all day during school. He was betting at night when he was supposed to be sleeping. You know, there was so many different bets. And on top of that, he had side bets going on in school with his peers. So then he was stealing the parents' credit cards. And the way he would pay his bookies in school was to order Uber Eats for everybody, and he would pay them off with food. So there was he had all these different avenues to get money forwarded to him and to be able to pay people off when he lost. And it was just this, and you know, he was in treatment with us for a while. He had done well. He had relapsed. He had stolen a credit card. Again, opened another FanDuel account and was another $5,000 in debt. And then in the other FanDuel account, he was negative $17,000.
So at any point during his gambling, as far as you know, was his age ever verified or checked? Were the deposits ever verified or checked?
Never. And I tried to call FanDuel numerous times, and you just get that recording, and it's please leave a message.
Well, you get somebody like Sheriff Chitt would get a hold of somebody at FanDuel or whatever it is, stole $887,000 from his grandmother, an innocent victim, and his parents also, well over $1 million. Now, how in the hell can that be allowed? Hi, Gary. How you doing? Nice to see you, Gary. Tim Walsh, yeah, it's an awful looking thing, but we just missed it. Hi, Justin, how you doing? Yeah, Grady Judd's a real legend. Stanton, how you doing? Nice to see you. Phil, how you doing? I saw Andrew in here earlier. Andrew. All right. Yeah, Walsh is a traitor. Here's a clip I should have played the other day. And I like Miller, Stephen Miller.
Let me play this first from somebody who I know is not a favorite of President Trump. This is Andrew Weissman, who's a former top Mueller prosecutor. Of course, it's not a huge surprise that he didn't like this operation. He doesn't. It's legal under the act.
Mr. Sweaty Man, Andrew Weissman. Remember I kept talking about him, and I had a clip I'm going to play in the future where him and that so-called professor from Harvard, Lawrence Tribe, and that fat toad frog-looking in jail. Anyway, but you'll see Andrew here in a minute and what Stephen's got to say about him. I don't know if they'll play Andrew Weissman or not, but Stephen Miller calls Andrew Weissman what he is.
Act that you just mentioned, Stephen, watch.
We're not at war with Venezuela. We're not at war with the gang that is the subject of the executive order. There is no invasion that is going on. And you also have to show that the people you're removing are actually part of that gang, even if there were an invasion or a war. And this statute may, in fact, be very unconstitutional.
So the judge has to be convinced that these individuals aren't real. I mean, it's a huge group, and nobody's going to miss any of these people, but they're quantifiable. So can you prove that these individuals were linked with Tren de Aragua and that Tren de Aragua is part of a Maduro operation, Stephen?
So first of all, Andrew Weissman is an absolute moron. He is a moron, and he is a fool, and he's a degenerate. Andrew Weissman has devoted his career to putting innocent Americans in jail, taking away their civil liberties. He was involved. Elected President Donald J. Trump. Weissman should never be on TV anywhere. He should hang his head in eternal shame for what he's done to this country. And now he's up there shilling for people who rape and murder Americans. That's who Andrew Weissman is. I met the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, Alexis Nungary, who President Trump honored at the State of the Union, named a national wildlife refuge after her daughter. Tren de Aragua terrorists took that 12-year-old angel and they tortured her to death. They sexually assaulted her. They stripped her and they dumped her body in a river. That's who President Trump has deported from this country. Behind every single one of those terrorists was another future rape victim, another future sex trafficking victim, another future murder victim. And most importantly, every one of those people was here illegally. They have no right to be in this country for 1 second longer. They are illegal aliens, they are foreign terrorists, they are alien enemies. And the law at the heart of this issue was signed in the founding generation of this country, the same generation that wrote our Constitution. People say, oh, it's an 18th century law. You know what else is an 18th century law? The Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights of the United States. The founding generation gave us this law, gave President Trump this law to repel this invasion from our country. And it was all detailed in the proclamation, how this gang was sent here by a foreign government and President Trump is sending them out of this country.
Well, we look forward to...
Yeah, an absolute moron. He's a disgrace. He ought to hang his head in shame. And that's when Stephen Miller said the same thing I was talking about earlier, that it's the same generation that wrote the Alien Enemies Act, that wrote the Constitution. You can't get much closer to a founding document. I got another video I didn't get to play the other day. Here it is. I'm not sure if this is a good one or a bad one for the cause. I don't know. Let me see what it's all about. I can't remember. It's about 3 days ago.
We're hearing one thing very often here. Don't support
support a Nazi. They're calling Elon Musk a fascist, a Nazi, because of that gesture that Musk made in one of the events in the inauguration earlier this year about also his association with Alternative for Germany, the German far-right party. They're telling people, trade in your Teslas, sell your Teslas, drop your stock. We need to boycott Elon Musk, and this is one way of fighting his policies as well in the Department of Government Efficiency. What have you just done?
I'm in the process of getting my car repaired so that I can sell it.
You have a Tesla?
I have a Tesla. I have a Tesla Y. I've had it since 2022 when they first came out. Has 82,000 miles on it, and I'm tired of Elon Musk and all this garbage that's going on. So I'm getting rid of this car because I'm embarrassed to drive it.
That was a CNN reporter. You know, and they're not condemning attacks, and they're putting on some moron like what you're looking at on the screen. And they're saying, you know, this is how you can help boycott. Boycott my eye. And what an idiot. You're trying to sell your Tesla and you're talking down one of the company owners. And how much you think you're going to get for it? Wonderful vehicle. But, you know, they just have no critical thinking. They're emotional, knee-jerk, holier than thou morons. Speaking of a holier than thou moron, here's Mark Cuban, who is constantly bashing Trump, bashing Elon. Well, he's been quiet. I'll give him that. He's been quiet. But he has not been nice in the past. But here he is in 2017. So let's see if he says anything smart aleck about what's going on in government right now after what he said in 2017.
As a libertarian, I think we can reduce employment in government by at least a third, reduce the overhead and administration by that much or more, so that we can offer more to services for our citizens. And so if when it comes down to it, where I tend to disagree with everybody, and this is the libertarian in me, I'm happy to push down the size of government, and I'm happy to work on making government more efficient, because then more money can pass through and help the people who need it. And that's what needs to change.
Sounds like that's what they're doing right now, Mark, but you've been quiet. So I won't get rough saying bad things, that's for sure. Here is Owen Schroyer. He got swatted. I didn't play. It's a 10-second clip of him standing there with his hands on his head and cops yelling at him. And also, Sheriff Chitwood said that some of those characters on the internet he's getting, finding out, he's going to different states tracking them down. They swatted Sheriff Chitwood's parents. So, you know, the more these local sheriff departments figure out how to penetrate cyber crimes, because one of the people that Chitwood arrested was showing a pistol in his videos threatening Chitwood. And the guy was in Alaska, and an investigator said, "Wait a minute, that gun got some writing on it." He had written a word on there, forgot something stupid, but it turned out that they found that gun at a murder scene and tied this guy Chitwood was going after for threatening him. They tied him to it through the video he posted threatening Chitwood. I guess later on he used that weapon and left it at the scene. And so when Chitwood was hunting him down, showing the video, they said, "Wait a minute, we found a gun like that." And they got the guy. He's sitting over in Alaska right now waiting to go on trial for a double red rum. So, the more police officers get intrigued, interested, talented at handling these cyber crimes, these people are going to fall like a house of cards. So that's why I think Mr. T put that post up. But anyway, I don't even know what this clip is. It's one of the dark ones. I got to refresh my memory here. Wait a second. What is this? Oh, that's an intro video I was going to play. I'll save that for later. I might play it on the outro. I don't know. So anyway, here is a moron making fun of Elon Musk. The Titan submarine was. They were saying, oh, they got 5 days worth of air. Oh, they only have 3 days worth of air. And, oh, the Navy's been called out, and every media was focusing on it. And I did a video. I said, those people are goners. They've been gone. But anyway, the SpaceX rescue, nothing from the old media. Nothing, because they didn't want to make Elon Musk look good. That is something that should have been live streamed on every major network. American astronauts being jumping around. It should have been a point of national celebration, but they didn't even cover it. And here's an idiot that should be sued by Elon Musk, even though he owns 12% of the Tesla stock. His real money is in SpaceX. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You tell me if there's grounds for a lawsuit or even maybe charge Jon Stewart on whatever that fake news show is.
And some people are not content to just scream about Elon in a high school gym. They're taking to the streets or the parking lots.
Tonight, the FBI and ATF now investigating multiple cases of possible arson targeting Teslas and Cybertrucks.
This dramatic video shows multiple cars in flames. Police say the attacker used Molotov cocktails. It's the latest in more than a dozen instances of arson and vandalism targeting Tesla.
The same suspect shot more Teslas with a gun. Tesla Cybertrucks were set on fire in Kansas City, and earlier this month, shots fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Cybertrucks on fire in Seattle.
Wow, you guys like petty acts of domestic terrorism, huh? Cool. Wow. Okay, let me just say, nobody should be breaking the law and blowing up Teslas, especially because if you just wait a few minutes, they'll probably do it by themselves.
He sits there and mocks them and gets the crowd laughing and cheering, clapping for Teslas burning up. And it's, oh, no, you shouldn't do that because they'll burn up all by themselves. Yeah. Be something if a big fat lawsuit dropped out of the sky. Here he is. Here's the idiot right here. Dan Squino put this out. Bro, you spent $1.4 million with Kamala to get annihilated in the general election. Tim Walz said, Wisconsin knows we need to get money and Musk out of politics after he spends over $1.5 billion to get his rear end kicked. So, let me see what's going on in the chats. Yeah, I wonder if that's the real crowd. Well, there are a bunch of nuts, and they pay for their bus rides. They give them gift cards for showing up to those stupid rallies. And I hope everybody that's not I hope investigators are tracing this kind of stuff down because it's coordinated. It's coordinated, and they're assisting up like the UK right here. Britain no longer a rich country after living standards plunge. Parts of the UK are now worse off than the poorest regions of Slovenia and Lithuania. That's from the Telegram. What happens to you in the UK? Ex-boxer jailed for racially offensive posts. A court heard that in videos referring to Muslims. Hagee made comments including young white girls are being aped by these grooming gangs. And it was true. They are. But he was put in jail for telling the truth. And the nation has plunged into a third world rat hole. Just like the video of that lunatic woman I posted. Let me see what this one is. Oh, Diamond Silk. What do they got to say? Say what? Elon Musk reveals Doge's latest shocking discovery. Magic money computers. Just in, Elon Musk. Magic money computers with the U.S. government, within the U.S. government, are issuing payments, quote, out of thin air, unquote, while leaving lawmakers in the dark about federal spending, Elon Musk told Ted Cruz. And again, I'm waiting to see if with these JFK papers, I'm not trying to demean or knock Ted Cruz down, but I remember Trump did say, as a matter of fact, that his father was involved. But you can't blame a man for the sins of his father. That goes all the way back to the Magna Carta. They used to call that corruption of blood. That is outlawed from way back in common law. Is when you try to blame a child or grandchild or brother or nephew for something that a member of the family did. So, but anyway, when Trump said, I already declassified some of the stuff, he said that a number of times. I think when he made that declaration and discussed Cruz's father, I think that counts. So it may not be released in a written form. You get what I'm saying, folks? Because like I said, we got to keep the body politic comity in our society come out of this better off than when we went in. And anyway, we'll keep an eye out for that and see what happens with it. What's this one? Elizabeth Bracona. I think this might have been put up by Scavino, maybe even Trump. I'm not sure. So far, we've got libs to defend 1. Hamas, 2. Tren de Aragua and MS-13, 3. Boys seeing naked girls at school, 4. Men beating up women for sport, 5. No prison for attempted red rum, 6. Setting fire to electric cars. And it's only March. I'm dead. Well, on top of that now, you have a judge telling Pete Hegseth to let the trannies back in the military. And then you've got another judge telling Trump he's got to take men that claim to be a different gender out of men's prisons and put them into women's prisons and continue paying for their transition journey. So the lawfare is dialed way up. They're trying to attack from every corner they can attack from. And it's just like that girl posted. It's making them look like maniacs, which is what they are. I don't know what this one is about. Let me see. I got this clip for a reason. CBS News. Well, it can't be good. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's play it and see what she's got to say. Where's my mic? I cut it off.
Greenpeace now owes hundreds of millions of dollars in damages after a North Dakota jury found the global environmental nonprofit liable for defamation.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Greenpeace lost a judgment, I think for $600 million, over $600 million for defaming a pipeline company, and they caused so much trouble. This was about 10 years ago, and the pipeline company sued them for defamation and won this humongous judgment. And you'll hear about them crying how they can't survive. And well, good, because you'll collapse under the weight of your own illegality. And good, because you thought it was great when Alex Jones got busted for $1 billion. You thought it was great when they tried to bust Trump for hundreds of millions of dollars. Now let's see what's good for the goose is good for the trans gander, right?
Defamation. CBS News national environmental correspondent David Schechter joins us now. David, what's the background of this case?
Good to see you. So really, this was, if you recall, back in 2016, 2017, there were these incredible protests of the Dakota Access Pipeline in North Dakota. A company called Energy Transfer was building a pipeline adjacent to the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. That drew thousands and thousands of protesters there, and at times it got quite heated. The demonstrations got a little violent. The protesters were sometimes handled in some pretty aggressive ways there. And that resulted in this lawsuit. That pipeline was eventually built, but this resulted in this lawsuit where Greenpeace is sued by Energy Transfer, the company that built the pipeline. And Energy Transfer said that Greenpeace essentially played a significant role in fomenting the unrest there, and that had a major impact on Energy Transfer's business. So this is almost a decade ago. This case has continued forward, and there's a lot of resentment between these two parties, resulting today in the $660 million verdict against Greenpeace.
Why is the verdict so consequential?
On a couple levels, I mean, financially, it is a huge blow to Greenpeace. First of all, they were at $340 million was what Energy Transfer was initially asking for. And it turned out to be $660 million awarded by this jury, or potentially even more. Greenpeace had said that kind of money is 10 times more than we even have in our operating budget. This will bankrupt us. We'll no longer be able to do our responsibilities here. And I think what they were saying is that this was a free speech lawsuit because of the scope of the money that they were asking for, that Energy Transfer knew that if they won, they'd basically be shutting down one of their big opponents and taking away their ability to have protests like these you're seeing right now.
Is that the future of Greenpeace, shutting down?
I think the future of Greenpeace right now is appealing this case in North Dakota. They were very concerned about the jurisdiction of where it was, and they felt it was not in their favor at all. So the next step for them is to appeal. Eventually, it does sound like from everything they said, they just do not have the funds to sustain this kind of damage against them, this claim against them. And so they say they would go out of business if this is something they had to pay.
Good. Go out of business. What are they doing with $40-50 million operating budget? That's probably our damn money too from USAID and other sources directly from the American taxpayer. And the jury probably knows that. And the jury probably has family members that lost jobs and income when they shut the pipeline down, or probably had to sit on the damn road with a bunch of idiots glued to the road or some crap like that. So now it's a comeuppance. Live with it. Bunch of creeps. I love comeuppance. Anyway, how much was that settlement for? It was a lot. Here, Dan Bongino came out. Communication and transparency are my priorities. We work for you, the American citizen. Our teams are actively working on the Tesla incidents and the swatting incidents along with other responsibilities to keep the homeland safe. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Other responsibilities. Here. Tim would like this right here. Timmy, a male student has just won gold in the girls' 400 meter varsity race at the Portland Interscholastic League meet in Oregon. Ada Gallagher, with a little fuzzy beard, set a season record. That's a long time when you got somebody running after you. He had a wide berth. So anyway, hopefully this outfit, Portland Interscholastic League, can end up just like Greenpeace and get their eyeballs sued out of their head too. Let's hope that happens. People are sick of this crap. Trump put up this. The Fed. The Fed would be much better off cutting rates as U.S. tariffs start to ease their way into the economy. Do the right thing. April 2nd is Liberation Day in America. He's probably said that 3 or 4 times this week or in the past 7 days so far. So let's, keep our fingers crossed for April 2nd. Not April Fool's Day, April 2nd. Jack Posobiec put this up. Breaking, Elon Musk donates to Republican lawmakers supporting judge impeachments. Musk has given a maximum amount of hard dollar donations to the campaigns of 7 Republican lawmakers that have either endorsed or called for some level of action regarding judicial impeachments. Well, John Roberts has got to step up because they have internal controls through a code of ethics in the judiciary where they can take action. So they need to do something or somebody's going to do it for them. Dan Scavino, what do you got to say, Dan? Trump? He's authorizing coal energy production in the U.S. to accelerate America's advantage over China and other nations. I had a statement from Trump. I don't know where, I had buried under a bunch of other stuff. But he said he was cutting back the regulations so we could start using beautiful, clean coal. And many of you may remember that clip from Barack Hussein Obama, where he was bragging about driving coal companies out of business. Here, for those of you who didn't get to see, there's Judge Bozeman. He's one of the prisoners. And Tampon Tim, he's also in the lineup. And that's got AOC very upset. So, anyway. I got a still shot of that. I'm going to keep for posterity. I didn't say posterior, Tim. Settle down. Financial Times. The huge spending and projection from the world's most valuable semiconductor group, NVIDIA, follows multi-billion-dollar U.S. investment plans announced by other technology companies, including Apple, as the impact of Trump's America First trade policies ripple through the global economy. Tariffs aside, we're talking trillions of investment that yesterday we didn't have, figuratively speaking, overnight. Trillions of dollars coming into this country investment-wise, not even counting the gold cards, not even counting the income from the tariffs, not even counting what kind of money this country is going to make off of energy production. Drill, baby, drill. It is truly going to be a golden age in a whole new world. Just, are you ready for it? Here we go. Good news for once. I believe this is a Court of Appeals in New York. And just like with Beryl Howell, how she yesterday was expected to go along with something hobbling Trump, she folded. Well, I believe these appellate courts are starting to get the hint and walk the chalk. New top court smacks down law allowing illegals to vote. We've discussed this many times in my past broadcasts. Anybody who thinks that people who have no business being in this country, they get driver's license, they get social security numbers, they get checks from the government. Anybody who says that they're not voting is either idiot or a liar or both. But anyway, an open and shut election law case in New York has closed the books on the possibility of non-citizens and illegal immigrants voting in municipal elections. Like I said many times, they set your flipping tax rates. They're living in an apartment. They're from Scratcher Krakistan or wherever they're from, saying, yeah, raise the taxes on people who own houses. Or here. This is something to put on Meta right here. Where cars are sold are made in America. Tesla's the only one 100% in this chart. What do we got? Ford, GM, Toyota, Kia, Volkswagen. What's this other one? I can't read it. Stellantis. What the hell is that? Anyway, yeah. And they're out here trying to burn it down. So anyway, that'd be a good one to put on Meta. Support Made in America. Nancy Mace put this up. Don't know who needs to hear this, but Teslas aren't the reason you're trans. So stop lighting them on fire. Here is from overseas. Trump. They're reporting what Trump said that the media is not reporting. The U.S. should deal with Russia because it has the largest territory and very valuable land. Trump. They have the largest land mass by far, bigger than China. They have 11 time zones. You can fly through 11 time zones, one side to the other. They have very valuable land, the U.S. president said. You know, a lot of people in the chats weren't crazy about that statement, but according to the American press, I talked about this last month. I said Congo had reached out to the U.S. government and said, we'll give you a minerals deal. And they were denied aid from the Obama administration because they wouldn't approve gay marriage. Well, they have reached out to the Trump administration and said, we got minerals, we'll give you a deal. And according to the American press, Congo has quietly offered the U.S. access to critical minerals through diplomatic channels in exchange for military support. Well, those of you who have been watching my channel already knew that. We knew that. We knew it. Trump called Zelensky. No, Zelensky called Trump. And you better had a suit and tie on the other end of that phone too, mister. Trump's call to Zelensky have emerged. Details. Maine. Zelensky agreed to stop attacks on Russian energy facilities. Zelensky confirmed his readiness for a full-fledged ceasefire in a telephone conversation with Trump. Trump told Zelensky that the U.S. is ready to help manage electric and nuclear power plants in Ukraine. Trump believes that if the U.S. owns Ukraine's energy facilities, it will be the best means of protecting infrastructure. Zelensky asked Trump for air defense, to which Trump said, I'll think about it. What color tie are you wearing? Here is that poll I was telling you all about. How many Americans think Trump should follow court rulings? And I said the question should be, what if you, should he follow court rulings from a demented judge? Should he follow court rulings from a communist judge? Should he follow court rulings from a transgender? Okay. They would have got different answers, but they said, she follow court rulings. One trial judge in some little district somewhere is not the court or the judiciary, especially with the conflictions they've got. Harry Anton says to cross the Rubicon of defying court rulings is a big no-no for Americans. This court issue is a big loser for Trump. The belief that Trump must follow court orders is more popular than Mother Teresa. 84% of all adults, 92% of that, blah, blah, blah. Well, somebody here, Kurt Schleicher, said, which is why Trump is not going to do that unless the perfect situation of ridiculous legal ruling combined with him having the popular side arises and it becomes clear the judicial branch is not going to police itself. Then this will change. But for now, Trump is correct in not openly defying the court, but passively aggressively interpreting their garbage rulings and appealing everything. Yes, that is what's happening. Here's that dizzy judge. Judge orders Trump administration to return 2 trans prisoners to women's facilities. Federal Bureau of Prisons told to transfer women back and provide hormone therapy treatment for gender dysphoria. This judge has got to go. Bozeman's got, we've got a list of maybe up to 10 judges that do not pass go have to step down. Have to step down. They're not exhibiting. When you end up with a Supreme Court justice that says they're not a biologist, hey, she's got to go too. What's this one? What did Trump call them? The perverts at Lincoln Project? I said that little hobbit, what's his name anyway, is a member of it. The day after the astronauts get rescued, they put this damn video up. Elon Musk is not finding waste and abuse. He's simply slashing regulations and firing regulators that keep you safe so he can add a few more zeros to his bank account. And they're showing the rocket that blew up a week or 2 weeks ago? Not a word about his triumph in saving those astronauts. They are disgusting. I guess, speaking of disgusting, here is Midas Trash Network. Now, we watched, most everybody in the chats right now what was probably with me last night when we watched the Laura Ingraham interview with Donald Trump, right? Remember that, folks? Well, you tell me, how did anybody freak out? Desperate Fox News flips out on air as Trump cracks. What the hell are they talking about? We watched the whole damn thing. And we didn't get anything like that out of it. So, what is it with these lunatics at Midas Trash Network? Here's another example. Canada knows your scam. Oh, they're pointing out the fact that this one judge, this, what's his name? I know what Frank would call him. Well, I won't do it. But anyway, Trump's plan in Canada election backfires in his face. where Trump said he'd rather deal with a liberal than the conservatives who are trying to kick him around. But anyway, my main point is we watched that interview and didn't see anything like how they're misrepresenting it. And like I said, there's a lot of attorneys involved with Midas. Here we go. Abandoned by Democrats, rescued by MAGA. That's the bottom line, no matter how much they want to put it out there to the contrary. The bottom line. Oh, here's that article I had on Greenpeace right here. And they'll tell us how much money it was. Don't cook the climate. Greenpeace. Jury finds Greenpeace must pay millions over protests. How much was it? Let's see if they tell us. I think it was 600,000. Did you all hear the numerical amount? It's in the hundreds of millions. A North Dakota jury on Wednesday found Greenpeace liable for defamation and other claims brought by a pipeline company. You're out of here. You're out of here. Here we go. Trump to sign order Thursday to shut down Department of Education. And what did that dizzy, what's her name? I got a video of her. They don't realize how out of touch they are. Whoops, that's the wrong video. Wait a minute. She's trying to put the blame on COVID. Here she is. She's another one. We got to find out what the hell was she doing on taxpayer money in Ukraine when she's involved with the teachers union in the United States. How did you end up in Ukraine? What the hell was that all about? But anyway, here she is talking some crap about COVID. The kids were just as stupid before COVID and after COVID from all this propaganda. COVID didn't have nothing to do with your poor performance and wasting of our trillions of dollars.
COVID was a terrible time for us. And as you know, because I was on your show a lot and other shows, I wanted schools to be reopened as early as April of 2020. The issue was the fear and the issue was the safety issues. But COVID has really hurt in so many ways. But this has been a Republican talking point for a long time.
Yeah, you didn't want the schools open. You wanted them closed, and it was all part of the game to get Trump out of office, and you know it. You know it. So, yeah, I'm seeing in chats about, was that Alex Soros' house got raided? Is that the story on that? And what I also heard was that, and I didn't get my plumber intel told me about it. I didn't get a copy of the tweet, but that Kash Patel tweeted out that there were 96 rallies, Trump rallies, and CNN only covered one. That can't be a coincidence. What he's talking about is the one they covered was the one in Butler where they tried to assassinate him. Did somebody give CNN a heads up? Yes. Just like they gave CNN a heads up about Roger Stone being arrested. So again, we're looking at the intricate web being traced back. How do you end up with CNN covering the one rally where they tried to assassinate Trump? And here they are giving this little troll all the airtime she needs to put out a bunch of propaganda. All right. Well, just looking through the chats. Yeah, and Rudy suggested me, and that's right. Well, the other story is that a FBI agent, former FBI agent, who claims he was a whistleblower, right? He was whistleblowing saying Rudy Giuliani was a Russian agent and all this kind of crap. Well, they caught him trying to leave the country, I heard. And I got his name. I didn't write it down. I have to hear with me. But I got to look up a little something about him. But let me tell you something. They don't pick you up at the airport for nothing. If he was a normal, law-abiding citizen, FBI or no FBI, whistleblower or no whistleblower, they wouldn't pick him up. Okay? He could go wherever he wants to go, just like any other law-abiding American. Why would they arrest him at the airport? Possibly a warrant that we don't need to know everything. Unsealed indictment, or an indictment that is going to be unsealed. He was put in custody for a reason. So are mistaken. There is things going on, big things. Well, be glad you do not live in Australia. Here's a situation with your free speech in Australia.
I recognise, and I've fully said from the beginning, that we don't have the same freedom of speech laws that they have in the United States. And the reason for that is that we want to hold together our multicultural community and have people live in. We do see around the world.
No free speech for you. So, an old indictment, you say. Well, remember now, Sussman got indicted by Durham, and it was Durham's first loss was Sussman, the Sussman trial, or a second loss. Andrew Sussman, who is a member of Perkins Coie, which Trump took away their security clearance and their ability to enter federal buildings. And that is not just Sussman, but this Mark Elias guy. Okay? Well, they again ran into Beryl Howell to get their access. And Beryl Howell, who folded on the last case, made a half-hearted ruling to let them back into the government, which Pam Bondi wrote a response to the judge, said, it might take us a couple of months, plus filing an appeal. So it's a weak attempt to get Perkins Coie back into the game, but they're not going to get back in the game. Here's where Trump put out, U.S. Department of Energy, how can the U.S. meet growing domestic demand while continuing to lead the world in energy production? Drill, baby, drill. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, well, the Aussies were involved in a lot of different things. Wow, I had a lot of stuff. Still have a lot of stuff. We'll probably have to go over it tomorrow. Here's Trump's word on Boasberg. Judge James Boasberg is doing everything in his power to usurp the power of the presidency. He's a local unknown judge, a grandstander, looking for publicity, and it cannot be for any other reason because his rulings are so ridiculous and inept. Save America. Well, Trump's pretty smart. He's not bringing up the conflict with the daughter and his wife getting millions of dollars. But then Trump put this out. I don't know how, it's really small, but this was on Trump's Truth Social. You can look up Miranda Devine. She wrote an article, I think it's the New York Post, Trump fights vile MAGA. And there he is, the creepy Bozeman. So I've got that on True Social. It'll come out clear enough where I can read it. But kind of crap they're trying to pull. Here's Diamond and Silk again. Are children's hospitals directly defying President Trump's executive order? Of course. Boston Medical. I'll tell you that right there. According to a recent investigation, several children's hospitals continued to deliver puberty blockers. Oh, you're talking about human experimentation? Oh, hormone replacement treatment. Aha. And even surgical procedures to kids in spite of President Donald Trump's orders. We need to see people go, like Elon Musk said, go to jail for the rest of their damn lives over that stuff. So anyway, I went through the whole video and didn't ask you all for a thumbs up. I appreciate it if you all would give me a thumbs up. It helps the video to get around. And if you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed, for crying out loud? And I want to thank Gary for helping out at Buy Me a Coffee. I had a new little thing for my, where is it? Gosh, I got so much stuff. I'll have to clean out my, holy cow. Oh, well, I thought I had a little video in here, but anyway, I got a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee, and I appreciate everybody that's going to help me out. Mike and Bev and Jess and Bean. Where did it go? Well, I'll have to make sure I get it in there for next time. You see how I keep up with my marketing. I'm a one-man band. What can I say? I'm a one-man band. Yasmin Crockett. This brain surgeon is, I guess, one of the leaders of the party. Look what they have. It's called Tesla Takedown, Mass Call. You know, she's not on the floor of the House, so she's not immune for the stuff she says. But here's a quick thing of her babbling about harassing Elon Musk.
Politicians, so I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, on my birthday, is for Elon to be taken down. Yes. Listen, I have learned as I serve on the Doge Oversight Committee that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now. And that language is money. And so I've been so proud to see us organize behind a cause.
Yeah, we'll see where your money's coming from to pay for those vulture wing eyelashes you got flapping around on your eyeballs. We're going to get into all that. But I tell you, they get so full of themselves, especially when everybody's running from the party and you're the only one left standing there. They say, oh, I must be great. I must be a wonderful person. No, you're the only one stupid enough to continue the kind of babble you're putting out. I got a nice little video here that I want to leave you all with. I think you'll enjoy it. It's somebody thanking Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And, of course, we don't see that very often. I want to move this. Oh, wait a minute. All right, it's good enough. I'll leave it where it is. But anyway, folks, Angela, how you doing? They're declaring war with MAGA. Yeah, they're trying to. Thank you very much. Love to you too, buddy. 50-year-old Jasmine, is she that old? I don't think she's that old, television shows. Her birthday's the 29th. So, anyway, I'll play this video. Thank you all for spending your precious time with me. We got another stream, hopefully. So if you're subscribed and hit the subscribe button, you'll know when I go live. So anyway, enjoy this message from this nice man. and I will be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
This one right here gonna be dead serious. I'm coming to y'all with some blunt, dead truth. You hear me saying? This right here gonna go out to Elon Musk. Mr. Elon Musk. First of all, let me say thank you, bro. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And I pray for you and your family to stay up under the cloak of God. I understand that there's a lot of people out there that don't know what's going on and don't understand what you're doing. But I, for one, would like to say thank you, sir. Continue doing what you're doing. You have my full support. I need you to continue because you are uncovering a whole lot of waste, fraud, and corruption. Second of all, I like to say, talk to Donald J. Trump, DJT, that's my dog. I'd like to tell you, man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. God bless you and your family. God keep you in the strength, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. No matter what most people say about y'all, you got to understand everybody wasn't in line for common sense. So by we knowing everybody wasn't in line for common sense, you have to treat people the way they show you who they are. So you can't impress everybody. Like you said one time before, no matter what you do, you always going to be looked at as the villain. But Mr. Donald J. Trump, I want you to understand that you have a lot of black people. You have a lot of... love you to death, dog. And I'm for one. I got my Trump hats on my damn dresser. I'm going to wear one tomorrow to let you know I fully support you. Mr. Elon Musk, God bless you, bro. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. And people, you can't just tell nothing. You have to show them. They'll see. Thank y'all. I appreciate you.